Oh, what a beautiful morning. Jack had us up at 3:30 this morning, so I'm mostly awake. I'm awake enough to wire a machine. It's only 240 volt, but I've got my 50-foot welding extension cable plugged into the electrical outlet next to the hoist, and then I stole the plug off my MIG for the moment because I'm not MIGing anything right now, and I put it on a piece of SO cord I have. And by a piece of SO cord, I mean the surplus hut. I bought half a spool of 10-4. So I actually have an extra wire because it's 3-phase wire, but it'll work. It should do what I need. I need a garage door company to sponsor me. I don't have any openers that work really. Yeah, so poured down rain yesterday, screwed all my plans, so I get to unbury this thing and try to dry everything off a little bit. And we'll have to see if this thing wants to run 250 feet of 10-gauge wire between the breaker box and it. Shouldn't be a problem. I'm not going to be drawing any current. And see if we get this thing turned into today. I'm convinced if I just believe hard enough, this battery will start this tractor someday. But anyway, now I've got the machine wired up single phase on my drop cord here. So, safety squints. No breaker trip. That's good because we are on the input side of a turned off circuit breaker on the machine, so I hope nothing would happen, but you never know. So this machine is definitely strange. There's control transformers wired to 1.2 and 2.3. This is wired to 2.3, but I don't think I need it. It looks like it's for the shunt trip system, which I'm hoping to not get involved with anyway. There's no door switch and, oh, there's door switch and spin it's over here. But, oh, it doesn't, there we go. It's got the pull out the bypass. Cool. All right. So, shunt trip disabled, hopefully. Otherwise, I got to use the momentary switch. Let's see if it tries to shunt trip. I will be hiding over here. Oh, didn't shunt trip. Drive also didn't power up, but I expected that. Because I believe we need some contactors to pull in. Of course, I still haven't moved the machine. It's still in the trailer, which means I really can't open this door very well. All quiet. So which breaker am I missing? It seems like we should have power right now. Oh, my flood switch? Yeah, it's not hooked to anything. There's no wires on it. But I'm not entirely sure what these ones do. Not much. Yeah, the drawings I have don't really match the system that well at this point because so much has been changed over the years. But a lot of it's there. I just need to go through and figure out what's part of the updates and what isn't. So now, I have to investigate further. You can tell I'm an electrical engineer because I didn't have my welding extension cord plugged into the wall. That's why there's no life. Alright, now, let's see if anything interesting happens. I hear buzz. It's not even mad its own single phase. I don't even have to like bypass an alarm or cheater it. Okay. These drives are all meant to run on single phase or 3-phase. The controller's booting up. Was it that easy to get this thing running on the trailer? I know I still have the limit switch problem probably. And to start the PC, you need a key. And I have a key that looks like that from the new door switches I just got for my garage doors. But these are actually a combination. The depth of these millings are a key combination, which I didn't know was a thing. So they don't actually turn. So I gotta pop the cover off this thing and figure out how to get the computer to wake up. Alright, 4 screws later, the back cover is off. Not to fall off the trailer again. And inside here, in this back cover, over here, there is a switch. And that switch is labeled PC Start. Yes. It's very sunny out. Hide behind the column here. Yep, there's Windows 7 as expected. I'm pretty sure this is not a touchscreen, but it's got trackball and mouse. So, trackball mouse, and it's got a full keyboard. Eventually, I didn't have any sort of password or anything. So I can get by that, and I really don't want to have to deal with it right now. A lot of bugs out here already. Alright. Just gonna fire Mach up to begin with. That's the Mach 4 icon. Eight gigs, and this is the dual core with hyper-threading. So this is the lower end unit, but I'm more than happy with it. More powerful than my laptop I use to run Mach on my other machines. Interesting, a backup script. Alright, so pull on my e-stop. Now I'm pretty sure it's going to fail to home. Everything's clear. Should be okay to home, but I'm pretty sure Z's not going to work. Push cycle start. Yeah, Z limit switch is active. Alright. So the problem that they parked it for in 2018 is still the problem. So what if I take my jog, put it on Y? Nah, it's overridden. Can I get it to enable? Holy heck. Guys, it works. Yeah, the Z-axis is dorked, but I think we got a limit switch problem. I think it's literally just a limit switch. I keep trying to touchscreen this thing, but clear override alarms. I don't know how to Mach 4. I use Mach 3. Clear the alarm. Reset all alarms. That axis is faulted. I may have to cycle power. Yeah, I have to cycle power, but that drive axis fault's gonna really be a pain in the ass. Alright, well, I'm gonna play around with settings and see if I can get this thing to let me start the spindle. It turns out in Mach 4 there's buttons right here that you can use at any time to run the spindle. So forward and reverse, let me put a little higher RPM in there. I got the override knob working. There we go, 500 RPM. So yeah, the only problem this machine has right now is the Z-axis won't home, and the software's locking us from using the machine because of it. So this probably ain't gonna be that hard. Very good acquisition. Well, this escalated quickly, and this is why I'm not a YouTuber. I need a lovely assistant to hold the camera. Turns out, this encoder is not responding, and the first thing I found was the connector is turning inside its housing, so I figured out somebody gorilla gripped it and ripped the wires. The wires look fine here, and they look fine over here, and I haven't found anything bad there yet. But when I opened this, it was moist. It was full of some sort of liquid, and it almost seems like a coolant of some sort. So I'm wondering, I mean, this bell was on the bottom side, but I'm wondering if something got into it, or if that's some sort of treatment they put in there to protect it. But I'll pop the encoder apart and see if it's moist inside. I'll have to try it out with some air, see if it wants to respond. Well, yeah, it's wet in here. We have to replace this encoder. No idea if it's savable, but it is an off-the-shelf made in China encoder. I'm not a fan of this all being wet. So after a whole bunch of screwing around, I narrowed it down to the encoder, and this motor is bad. That's the one I found full of liquid, so that could be related. But even switch it to another drive and checking cables and everything, it seems like that encoder is not responding correctly and causing the drive to fault. So hopefully I can swap out just the encoder, but first I'm going to figure out what this motor actually costs, because that might be the easy solution. A bum encoder could be significantly harder to diagnose than a limit switch. So the fact that the software was saying that the Z-axis was over limit, and it turns out that the drive was telling you that the encoder was bad, you could definitely get some bad answers out of a control system. I'm used to dealing with that every day. But hopefully this will solve this and make this machine a fully functional machine. I mean, having to replace one servo motor on a $2,700 machine really isn't that bad.